Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer, and I'm still playing Elder Scrolls Betrayal of the Second Era. So we are at the end of session 2 in High Rock, and it's now day 10, and now we are aiming for the last big quest of this session, and so we go to day 11, and we're gonna be one day early, but it's just good, right? I don't want to do anything else. I feel in a good shape. I'm gonna move these three guys now here, or these two guys here, to the Doomcrag, and we're gonna have our final quest there. We're gonna initiate the Doomcrag dungeon, and using an end of session difficulty enemy pool. Alright, so let's see. At the start of the dungeon, the party gains a collective total of 3 bonus hit points for each side quest completed in quest step A31. So these would be 3 side quests, so we get 9 bonus hit points divided between us in any way we want. So, I mean, this guy already has 4 bonus hit points from the city. So I think what I'm gonna do is, I mean, it's pretty crazy. I think I want to give I'm gonna give her 4, and I'm gonna give the other guy 5. It's a bit silly, right? I mean, I don't know. Hey, come on, like, I don't know how many hit points I have. It's like 7, I don't know, 15 or something. That's just crazy. Okay, then if the number of completed side quests logged in the journal is equal to or greater than 3, Razumdar becomes a companion controlled by the party. So this is this guy. He helps us now. And he is not terribly good. He only has 4 life points. He's got 0 armor. He's a close combat dude. So I have a feeling he might die pretty early. Before deploying random enemies, deploy quest unit Civilai Moth to the legendary cache on floor 3. So this is this guy here. Let me see what Lord means. That's his special skill. At the start of this unit's turn, set aside a level 5 demon from the enemy back. At the end of this unit's turn, deploy the set-aside unit to the closest unoccupied hex. Okay, so he's kind of spawning level 5 units, this guy here. And quest units Watcher to hex 5, this guy here, and then we have quest unit Corrupted Creature to hex A1 on level 1. Okay, this guy it's pretty dangerous. 4 attack points, that's pretty rough. 4 attack, attack dice. Alright, enemies on floors that party members have occupied still take turns regardless of whether party members currently occupy their floor. If an enemy takes a turn where there are no party members on its floor, its destination hex is the closest unoccupied hex that would allow it to transfer 1 floor higher. Okay, but as long as you have not entered floor, I think these enemies will not activate. But I will check that a little later. Okay, then resolve each of the following modifications in order, stopping after you have resolved the modification for the current unrest level. Okay, so you go from top to bottom and do that all. That's a bit weird, because they want us to bring this here to the highest level, stopping after you have resolved the modification for the current unrest level. Well, okay, so we got all these three. Adventurers must gain 1 additional light fatigue each time they take an additional engage. So that would be 3 light fatigue. That's crazy, because we already have 1 additional because we play on a higher difficulty. Then this one here, when an adventurer transfers floors, they must spend 2 tenacity, drain 2 available skill dice, or deal themselves 2 true damage. They may split between the 3 options. And then at the start of the battle, deploy a random level 5 enemy to hex A2 on floor 1, hex B2 on floor 2, and one of the caches on floor 3. Okay, so there's a lot going on. Skip the activate province effect step each day. What? Oh, okay, that is not happening anymore. Battle objective: eliminate quest enemies. Okay, so that's what we got to do. And now we got to find that dungeon here, and we got to set this up. So that will take a bit. Okay, I just want to give you a quick overview on how this looks like before I start setting this up, so you get an impression. Because we haven't had dungeons until now. We played delves, which are these randomly generated dungeons, and clashes, but we haven't had something like this. So you can see in this case we have 3 floors, and you can see the different tiles, how they are laid out. The random units we follow the enemy pool and then deploy them here. Unit number 1, the strongest one goes here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's kind of similar to the clashes, basically. Just that these are deployed on different tiles. We have caches here, we got our legendary item over here, and here we have a couple of special places where I think we are instructed to place specific enemy units, if I remember that right. And there's also a couple of extra rules for this. We're going to see that a little later. Okay, so the dungeon is set up. This here is level 1, and this is the entrance tile. We got the Argonian, the Dark Elf, and this is here Razum Dar. These 3 hexes are kind of a staircase. At the end of the turn, if you are on one of these hexes, every unit that is on one of these hexes will go down to this level, which is level 2. And we got another quest unit here, the Witcher, that we have to kill, and the first quest unit is this corrupted creature here. And then here is another staircase, basically, which brings you into this area here, right? So this is level 3, and here we have another mud crab once again, and then we have here the quest unit Sivlai Moath, and I think he's the guy who spawns creatures here. So that could be pretty rough down there. Now, what's important is, as long as we have not entered a floor, they will not activate. The units take no turn. So first we only have to deal with these guys here. We have here a Wood Elf Bandit with a dodge ability. So he basically, the misses that we roll, or I think if a die doesn't do damage, that allows him to, prevent another damage that is dealt to him. So for each die that doesn't do damage, for each skill die, he can prevent one damage. Then we got here an Orc Warlord, level 20 creature with 7 hit points. Aggressive. After rolling enemy combat dice, this unit rerolls all misses one time before dealing damage. Intimidate. After this unit's engage, apply a fear status die to this unit's target. Okay, but if it already has a fear status die, remove it instead. And then we got the corrupted creature, cornered and native. So let's see, cornered. This unit deploys with an additional 2 hit points for each undefeated adventurer. Alright, so that means he gets 4 additional hit points. Okay, so we're going to remove this one and place a 5 marker down there. So that brings him to 9 hit points now. And then he's got the native. And if I remember that right, if he is killed, all the allied creatures can heal the amount of unrest. So that would be in this case 9. Okay. That's pretty much it, I think. Okay, I also just realized we have to deploy a random level 5 enemy to Hex 2, Hex A2 on floor 1, B2 on floor 2, and on one of the caches on floor 3. Alright, we can choose, we got our Velothi Farseus charm, so we can draw 2 level 5 enemies and pick 1 every time we deploy one. Okay, so let's think about this for a minute. Our goal is to defend the quest units. So we gotta kill the corrupted creature, the Watcher, and Xivilai Moath. Now these guys are, I mean, it seems a bit like this might be one of the toughest ones. The corrupted creature has like 9 hit points, 4 attack dice. That's pretty impressive. But apart from that, it seems like these guys are definitely manageable. We have 3 other main enemies here. We got this Orc Warlord, we got a Giant here, and a Bone Colossus. So my plan is basically to kind of, as we did in the games before, in the clashes before, I want to neutralize these big bosses, the not the bosses, but the 20, the level 20 monsters, by, for example, blinding them or mesmerizing them. That's the main idea. And then I want to focus my attacks mainly against the quest enemies and kind of rush down, kill these 3 guys, and that's it. That's the plan, right? I only have basically 5 turns before things are getting tricky. I get more and more fatigue. So that's definitely something I want to avoid. So therefore, yes, speed is definitely an important aspect here. Okay, so let me see what I want to do first. So I think I want to make the Dark Elf my start player, and I want to try to somehow neutralize the Orc Warlord here. Yeah, so I guess... Wow, this is also pretty strong. Okay, just let me think about that quickly. I have no range to this guy because I have no line of sight on him. You can only have line of sight to units on your tile or an adjacent tile. So I could attack this guy, but to attack this guy I have to move on this tile, which, I mean, I kind of have to do that anyway, but then I have to deploy differently, and you know, I think I want to do that. Probably going to do it more like that. You know, actually I'm thinking about doing it like this. Yeah, that's the way we want to do it. Now I got a speed of 4 now for my move actions because of the glyph of stamina, so that is really helpful. Okay, so I'm rolling these 4 dice. We got the Power Stone, which would let me choose the side of a die. We got my Pulsar to blind this guy. We got this one here, which is this illusion. What is that? Calm and Fury, which would give me the option maybe to teleport away from an enemy if I get attacked. And then these bound armaments, which give him a free attack. So we'll see if we can do that here. You know, but I'm thinking about, before I do that, okay, so here's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to actually move here 2 spaces. Well, I could move 4 spaces though, but I'm not sure if I want to do that. You know, I don't think so. I think I want to remain here, and then I want to have this guy within range. And this tile within range, I think. Yeah, okay, so wait a minute. So I think what I want to do is I want to drain one of my combat dice, use my Hickory Ice Staff. That's not... no. If I attack this guy, it doesn't really help that much. So no. Okay, I'm going to go with that, and then we'll see what happens, right? That was not... Oh, darn. Now I remember why I moved that. I'm going to do that. I wanted to remove 3 here, so I can get 2 from here, and then I can take 2 hit points myself. That is the Dark Ritual. And the plan to do this was because I was afraid I would get tenacity. So that's the thing. Okay, now I get 2 tenacity, and this is not wasted. Then I can blind, deal 2 damage to your target. So that means I can deal 2 damage to this guy. And then he's blinded, and I'm also blinded. Okay, so I'm blinded, and he is also blinded, so this guy is the Orc Warlord. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. Yeah, it's true damage. Deal 2 true. No, yeah, don't. Deal true 2 damage. Do 2 true damage. Because he's got an armor of 3, so I was afraid I couldn't do it, but I'm good there. And then this goes up here, and that will allow the other guy to attack, if I'm not mistaken. At the end of any unit's turn, you may choose an adventurer in this one of these battle stands to perform an engage, rolling 3 enemy combat dice. Okay, cool. And yeah, so the rest then goes in here. Okay. That wasn't necessarily the best action, but I think it was okay. And now I can activate this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so he's going to move definitely here. I want to stay away from this guy. And I'm going to attack this corrupted creature there. And you know, actually I changed my decisions. I'm not going to take the 2 units, the 2 hit points that I took from this guy. Instead, I'm going to place him underneath Razumdar. I think I can choose any other unit in range. Yep. So that works out. And in this way, I can make this guy a little stronger, which is kind of cool. So, yeah. Now, how do I want to attack this guy? Could simply use my defense combat dice. I could also attack with these. Okay, so I think I'm going to use my Void Steel Axe. And I'm pretty much going to go really heavy on these attacks, I think. So I'm going to take the Balance Blade, the Cleave, and possibly also the Executioner here. Yeah. Okay, let's do that. And that might be actually enough. Sadly, I can't move here. I got something that would allow me to deal him damage and also damage to adjacent units, but I'm still feeling quite confident that we can do a lot of damage here. So let's see. Okay, so this is the Balance Blade, which is kind of cool. I'm going to place that here first. So now when we get over fatigue, we can place this up here, which is helpful. Then we get a tenacity, all right. We're already at the top, so that doesn't really help. But I think these are pretty good. So let's see, we got this one here, 3 damage to the target, gain 2 light fatigue or 1 over fatigue. Okay, so that means 3 damage, and I take an over fatigue and place that here. And then the other one was the Cleave, and this is this one. Deal damage to your target equal to your current stamina stat. So okay, I got stamina 4. So that means I deal overall 7 damage if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, 3, that, and then another 4. So I deal 7 damage. This guy has exactly 7 hit points, and because I got my Void Steel Axe, I can ignore 1 defense. And he has exactly 1 defense. So I killed this guy. The corrupted creature is already gone. Okay, so that was my first quest unit. Fantastic. All right. Yeah, I mean, we're doing good. And this one goes back in the back. There we go. Okay, that was a good start for him. And now I can move this guy, and I'm thinking about simply moving here. I'm probably a bit too slow here because I can only move 2 spaces. I think I cannot move 4 spaces. So that kind of sucks, but okay. So I'm going to move here and I'm going to attack the Wood Elf Bandit. I probably won't be able to do a lot here, but hey, it's 2 dice. Maybe I'm lucky. Okay. Yeah. Alright, that's it. And now we're going to activate the enemies. So this guy doesn't do anything because he's blinded. Now we activate him, and he simply moves here, I guess. Let's move him here. The Nord Marauder, he attacks the Argonian with 2 combat dice. Okay, that's 2 damage. Yep. I guess that's simply something we have to take. It kind of sucks, you know, because this die sometimes does the same amount of damage as I have hit points. But, you know, still, I mean, this is just really good. What about, we got a couple of things going on here. Let me see here. Caltrops. Timely escape. I could re-roll that, and you know what? I want to do that. Oh, but I got to... No, this is enduring. Yeah, so I got more than 3 tenacity, so I don't have to spend any tenacity here. Once per turn, you may re-roll an enemy's engage that targets you. Let's do that. Okay, that is actually pretty good, because when engaged, prevent 1 damage dealt to you for each misrolled. That's my special ability, so he didn't do any damage here. That was excellent. Now the Wood Elf Bandit, he attacks both of us with a single die. Okay, that was great. Nothing happened, so we're doing good. Yeah, I mean, this was pretty easy here. Let's see what we're going to do now in turn 2. So first we basically have to move through this area. I wonder if there is a way I can run with this guy, or if he always just moves 2 and then attacks. Yeah, okay, so here's what sucks. We can really not move this guy more than 2 spaces, which is bad because it makes it hard to get around this guy, right? I mean, we can, and he's slower than us, so I mean, pretty soon he won't be helpful at all anymore. And one thing I've forgotten, and I actually want to do that. Now, after this unit activates, I'm going to give him the option to attack him with 3 enemy combat dice. So let's do that. So these are 3 damage. And you know, I think I'm in battle stance. So I think I can actually use this thing. I'm the Void Steel Axe. I'm not sure about that, but hey, why not? I mean, I'm in battle stance, and these are combat dice, so I think I'm okay here. So therefore, I think I can simply deal 3 damage to this guy, which brings him down to 4 hit points. All right, there we go. That's it. And now we go to turn 2 exactly. And let's see. I think I want to get with my 2 adventurers on these spaces so that we can go next turn downstairs, basically. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I can simply go here. And then what? So first I'm going to get my dice back, obviously. Yeah, okay, so let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Simply move here. And you know, I'm thinking about maybe now is a good time to spawn one of my creatures. And, oh, I get one of these actually. That's kind of cool. You know what I'm going to do? Huh. I could also pimp my creatures using this dark exchange. That's definitely also cool. All right, let me see what I want to do. I want to roll this die. And it shouldn't be so hard to kill this guy, right? Do I need any help there? I could play one of these, I think. Maybe this one. And yeah, why not? Let's use this one. There's no reason not to do that, I think. Let's do that. Okay, well, so first we can spawn now one of these guys. So one interesting question is about timing, but I think I cannot do this. I wonder if I can activate one of these abilities, of these skills, after I rolled and then get the tenacity. But I'm not going to allow that to happen. I think that would be too easy. All right, so what I want to do is I can spawn one of these 2 dudes here. So that would drain the die, but that's okay, I think. Yeah, why not? I think that's fine. So we have, which one is that? This is the Clanfear, to an unoccupied adjacent hex. So I'm going to place him here. He's got 3 hit points. Okay. He's aggressive, so he's re-rolling attacks. And then I got to drain this die. So this goes away. And then we got this one here, and I think that deals like 4 damage or something. No, it's 2. 2 damage to the target. So I will deal, well, in the end only 1 damage against this guy here. And these 2 are basically just wasted. So now what I want to do is I'm going to spend again 3 to remove 2 of them and 2 of the hit points from this target and give them to this guy here. All right, that's it. And now it's him. So cooldown. And I'm actually thinking about changing my stance here to standard sword. Maybe doing a relaxed attack. And maybe also rolling a couple of these acrobatics dice. Let me think about that. Okay, so I got my calcinium mace. So I'm allowed to roll 2 enemy combat dice. I'm simply going to roll my standard combat die, the one that I have left. And then I'm going to roll 2 of my acrobatics dice. This is more than enough. I just have to deal 2 damage to kill this guy. And then we're going to be fine. And I don't bother with these here. Okay, yeah, that is obviously great. So this is sadly just a waste. Tenacity. We did more damage than necessary, so we killed the Nord Marauder. And this one, I think, allows me next turn to move basically 5 spaces for free. The Fleet Phantom. You may move up to 5 hexes at the start of the turn. And I think that could be useful if we enter the new dungeon level. I think that might be a good one. And then I can still move, right? So I'm simply going to move in here. And that will allow me then, at the start of the next turn, I can enter the next dungeon level. Here's the thing, though. What about this guy? I mean, I don't want to enter on top of him, right? You got to check how this actually works. I see. Well, wait a minute. Maybe this is something I didn't think about. Maybe I have to place these 2 guys on different hexes then. Just let me think about that. Okay, so they only transfer to unoccupied hexes. So that makes... Okay, this dude is standing on hex 2. So yeah, that's actually okay. This guy will not transfer down, but that is fine for now. Important for me is that the 2 adventurers go down, and then I'm okay. So no need to change things here. All right, so now pretty much the only thing that happens is, I can actually attack with this guy. Yeah, hey, why not? I'm gonna attack the Wood Elf Bandit. Okay, so dodging, I think he can basically avoid 1 damage because there was a miss there. But, yeah, that's true. So he takes 1 damage. I mean, that is not too impressive. And that's it. I don't have to move him. I can. And then the Wood Elf Bandit fights back with a single die here. Okay, that's 2 damage. That kind of sucks for him, right? He might get killed there. All right. And that's it. We're at the end of this turn. It is turn 3 now. And now at the start of the turn, we are transferred onto the next level because we are on these 3 tiles. So let me see. A1 is... Wait a second. Okay, the Argonian is on A1. He goes here. So he moves here, and she moves here, and that guy would move exactly where this guy is standing, and that is not happening. Yeah, all right. Now, let me see what I can do here. Okay, so we got these guys. So again, we start with her, and we can grab first. We get 1 tenacity. We get these backs. Oh, one thing I forgot. When you change levels, as an adventurer, that was a rule. You have to spend either 2 tenacity, you take 2 true damage, which is, I think, what she will do. I think she takes the true damage. He's going to spend the 2 tenacity. And there was a third thing, which, yeah, I could drain 2 skill dice, which is really a bad option, I think. All right. So, now that we did that, let me see what I want to do. I guess that would be awesome. The thing is, I got my but that's a bit of a risk. I could, if I roll with my pulsar, if I rule this symbol here, deal two true damage to your target and 1 true damage to each unit adjacent to your target. All units that take damage from this skill then gain a blind status die. So here's the thing. If I would blind this guy here, that means all 3 units would be blinded. That would obviously be awesome. So this is a level 20 unit, this is a level 20 units. I really want to avoid these guys. Chillblain, that's not good. Okay, if you don't need a weapon, you get 2 light fatigue. Shatter is, I think, really bad. I think the first time this unit is engaged by an adventurer who is not overtaxing a weapon, that adventurer must discard a weapon from a ready slot after the engage. Not good. So I really would love to make this happen. All right. So we need the Power Stone, which allows us to pick a side. We take our pulsar, and I want to use the Mesmerize. And what about the Wall of Elements? The Wall of Elements only helps, I think, against the target. No, not necessarily. That's pretty cool. So maybe I should also use the Wall of Elements, and then we'll see how it works out. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do this. So I'm going to attack the skeleton. That's my target, and the plan is to get this pulsar done, and then we'll see how it works. That is great. That's really good. I think actually the pulsar was a lucky roll. I don't even need that. Yeah, that worked out perfectly. I don't even need the Power Stone, but I can still use it. So let's see for that. So first I'm going to, the skeleton, well, the pulsar, I'm going to put it here, right? So the skeleton takes 2 true damage, which means the skeleton is already killed. All right, cool. I hope that's not a problem, right? So I don't know if you could argue now that, okay, now that this guy is gone, there is no unit adjacent to that anymore, but I think that's stupid because it says target. I don't think this makes sense. 1 true damage to each unit adjacent to your target. Okay, so that means this guy loses 1, and I don't suffer any consequences for the shatter because I did not directly engage him. And this guy uses 1, and these 2 are blinded, which is obviously totally insane. I mean, this blind thing is just absolutely crazy. So they are more or less out of the game at that point. They're just obstacles for me. All right, that was good. I don't really need, I mean, I could maybe. What do we have? Well, we got this one here, the Mesmerize. Place this die on a targetable non-quest enemy. Okay, so I don't really... Well, I could use this guy maybe. This enemy's range stat and movement are reduced to 1. I'm not even sure if I want to use that. The thing is that this die would remain on him. But yeah, okay, fuck that. But I could still use it for something else. Maybe that's more useful. But then I will get attacked by him next turn. But that's probably going to happen anyway. That's a bit tricky. But, you know, I could actually use the other die. I got my Power Stone. So I can choose. That's a great one. That's cool. I'm going to use... Oh, no, wait a minute. The Mesmerizing Gasp has only this. I thought I had the Common Fury, but I don't. But I can, for example, place it like this, so that I can get a Tenacity. And then we got the Wall. I got to think about that. What does the Wall do? There's so much going on here. Apply a maim status die to 1 enemy in range. Is that something I want to do? When this unit rolls combat skill dice, the total damage roll is reduced by half, then rounded down. And then this thing is drained. You know, I don't know. I might want to keep that too. So maybe... Okay, I'm not going to use that thing. All I'm going to do is I'm going to make that a Tenacity. So that gives me another Tenacity. There we go. I get a blind status, actually. I think I will place this thing here at the end. Place the blind status in here. Okay, that's it. And then I feel fine here. All right. Yeah, I mean, that was her turn, and that... No, I mean, she can still move, actually. And I think I'm going to move here. And then next turn, I will be able to run, basically, around these guys this way. But for now, I'm just going to move here. And that should be fine, then. And so now we got to deal with this dude. I mean, I could simply ignore him. I can move 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could move here, move even further, and then attack this guy. And that looks like a really good choice. You know, I think that's what I want to do. 1, 2, 3, 4. I could move here or down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Grab this, move a couple of additional spaces here, for example, and then attack him. Let me see what necrotic and restrain says. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is this die here, and now all these dice go back into their slots. So that was a free movement, which is nice. Really helpful. Now I can open this. Do I want to do that? I don't know. Sure, why not? Let's do it. Let's open this, and I can roll a couple of dice here. So we need a 5, a 1, and a 1. Okay, so what do we have here? This is the ledger main. Okay, oh dear, that's this one. Modify any rolled die by up to 2. So this one and this one allows me to adjust any rolled lockpick die by 1. Okay, so we need a 5, a 1, and a 1. I mean, I could already do that, right? I can make one of them a 5. Oh, no, I can't. But I can make this a 1. And then I'm going to roll 2 more times, hoping to roll a 1. And I don't even think I want to take fatigue, to be honest. Okay, I didn't do it. That's fine. I'm not sure if I can use these every time I roll, but I decided not to do that. I decided to use them only once per lockpick attempt. Okay, so that didn't work out, but that's not a big deal. We have a lot of items. And now I got more actions. I can move further. I'm going to move here. I don't want to end up here. I don't want to get teleported on the next tile down there. But if I'm here, they cannot reach me because they're blind. And we're good. So, you know what? Actually, no, we're good here. And now I'm allowed to attack the Watcher. Restrain. After this unit's movement, all opposing units within 3 hexes of this unit's... Oh! I moved 1 hex closer to it if possible. Within 3 hexes. Luckily, that doesn't affect me. Alright, otherwise they would have pulled me towards one of these guys, which would have been a big deal. But maybe I can kill him right away. I'm optimistic here. So I'm actually thinking about simply taking... I don't know, I mean... I can roll 4 dice, right? Do I want to take simply these 4 dice? Yeah, why not? That's pretty convincing, I think. I gotta go into this other battle stance, and I mean, yeah, I think, let's see what we can do here. Oh, okay. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So that alone should do it. I think this is the Executioner, and if I have more hit points than he does, and I got like 30 hit points, I mean not really, but I got so much hit points. Gain 2 light fatigue or 1 over fatigue to immediately defeat an adjacent non-quest enemy. Oh, it's a non-quest enemy. Ah, right, I didn't remember that. Well, fuck, okay, that's not gonna happen then. But I can do this, and that's again a lot of damage. Deal damage to your target equal to your current stamina. So that would be 4. This is, I think, 3, so that's 7. And another 4 damage, which would give me a Bane status die if I do it. So I can do 7 damage, which is enough because the guy has 1 armor and I can ignore armor when I use my Void Steel axe. So again, it was a perfect hit. We killed the second quest unit with a single hit, and I'm not gonna use the other abilities, right? I'm not gonna take any over fatigue or anything. It's not important for me. Okay, I mean, yeah, it's looking good. There's no doubt here. It's looking really, really good. And now we can move the other guys. So I'm gonna move him here. So, all right, I'm gonna move Razum Dar right here, so maybe next turn he can move then here, and then he's gonna attack this guy with 2 dice. I mean, he did 2 damage. That's not too bad. All right, that's it. And now the enemies activate. This guy does nothing. They do nothing. We got him here, the level 5 guy. And he moves 1 space toward the closest enemy, so I'm going to move him here, I guess. And we're going to attack with 2 dice. Stealing is not going to work. I got much more hit points than he has. So rolling a d6 is pretty much pointless for him. But he does 3 damage. Alright, yeah, I got to live with that, I guess. Got to remove these 3. The Breton Marauder. Yeah, that wasn't really great, but okay. And then we see the Wood Elf Bandit attacking Razumdar with 1 die, and nothing happens. That's great. Okay, that's it for that turn then. Okay, so let's go to turn 4. My goal for this turn is simply to end up in this area so that I can move down in the next turn. So yeah, I think I got a movement of 8 thanks to the Glyph of Stamina. So let's say 1, 2. I'm gonna try to open this. 5, 1, 1. Oh, and by the way, I get my dice back here. Oh, that was a pretty strong start. A 5 and a 1. Oh, there we go. Wow, that was good. Let's see what we find. Necrom Beetle Cheese Poutine. Discard this item, then heal for 5 hit points. And gain a Bane status die. Alright. So, I'm going to keep that. I mean, it brings me to number 8. But I put it in the backpack. So, and then I'm going to move to here, I guess. And, oh, and I get another tenacity. And, well, with the other guy, I'm also going to recover I'm gonna move here, and you know, I'm actually thinking about simply rolling these 3 dice. I don't see a reason why I shouldn't do this. Okay. Well, that means we get 2 tenacity, which is cool. And I can move 3 spaces for free at the start of the next turn. All right. Then well, I think I want to attack this guy. Razum Dar attacks the Wood Elf Bandit. Oh, that was good. And he managed to kill it. Excellent. So he might survive this. And you know, I'm not even sure if I want to move here. It probably doesn't really help. And with this guy, he ends up, I don't know, somewhere here, I guess. Not sure. I'm going to place him here anyway, and I'm going to move probably here and then attack with 2 dice the Breton Marauder. Okay. I think my aggressive allows me to attack a second time. Yep. I reroll all misses. Okay, so we have 2 hits. So he loses 1 hit point here. All right. That's it. Then we're going to activate the enemies. Basically, the only one we activate is the Breton Marauder. He remains standing there and attacks Clanfear. Okay, that's a single hit. I got 1 armor, so nothing happens here. I'm fine. Excellent. These guys don't activate. We go to turn number 5. And if we cannot finish it in this turn, from the next turn we will get over fatigue. Okay, so we get placed like this. Oh, wait a minute. I think we start with her, and then the other one will activate, if I'm not mistaken. One after the other, I think. So let me see. I cannot directly attack this guy because I'm too far away. He's not in sight. These are 1, and then this is the second tile, and you're only in sight if you're 1 tile away. So on the same tile or an adjacent tile. But of course I can move. I gotta make sure that I don't get it, that I leave space for the other guy to move through. So for example, if I move here, then that would block the other guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, I could move. You know, I think I want to do that. I'm just going to move 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now let me see what I want to do here. I think I want to use this, the Ancient Knowledge, which does a ton of damage. I want to use my Elemental Rage. And then I think I'm gonna go also with the Calm and Fury. And and I'm gonna use the stone. So let's see what we can do. I will attack. Wait a second. Obviously, one, two, three, four, five, six, 7 available skill dice. That's nearly enough to kill this guy. I think it's fine. I mean, I'm gonna move here and we'll see what we can do. I'm gonna attack Civilian Moath. All right. So first of all, got 2 tenacity here, which is again wasted. That was kind of dumb. I do a lot of damage with this one here. That's my ancient knowledge. Got to drain this die. For each available magic type skill die, deal your target 1 damage and heal for 1 hit point. Alright. So I can heal 3 damage. And I deal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage against this guy. He's got 2 armor, so he loses 5. So he's down to 1. And then, I think what I want to do is, I got this one here left. Let's see what this actually does. Place this die with 1 hit point chip in an unoccupied hex in range. Enemies treat this die as an adventurer and party member treated as an occupied hex. Okay, that's cool. I'm gonna place this at an unoccupied hex in range. I'm simply gonna place that here, I guess. And then this guy will simply attack this one, because he attacks 1 enemy with the lowest hit points, so that's this guy here. And so that's neat. Then I removed 3 here, and that allows me to simply remove this. It's the dark ritual again, the dark exchange. Move up to 2 hit points from any unit in range to any other unit in range. So I simply will take. I wonder if I can place it here. Probably not. It does not become a unit, or does it? Nah, I don't think so. No, I cannot place this there. But I'm going to take it myself, I guess. And then the other guy simply activates. So we managed to kill now pretty much all the quest units. So now I'm placed here. Let me see what I can do. If I could try to get this item, for example, which sounds like a pretty good choice, I think. I think I want to do that. So first of all, I can move 3 spaces for free. Or up to 3 spaces. I'm going to move simply here. And now let me see. What I can do here. Okay, I think I move immediately one additional space. So I can move up to 3 spaces. So 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to do my actual movement, which is 4 spaces. So I'm going to move here, try to open this thing. So I will roll a couple of dice now. I need a 5 first, and then a 6, a 4, and a 4 for this legendary item to open. That's pretty good. So we got our 5. We can put the 6 aside. And what is this? The 2. What does that mean? Flip one rolled die to its opposite side. Okay. So I'm going to flip this to a 4. Does that help in any way? Absolutely. Yeah, so we can do it like this. A 5. Then we have a 4. We have a 6. And that's it, right? Then these go back. And I can re-roll this one now. I got 3 more attempts to roll a 4. And you know, I think I'm going to take the fatigue here. I'm going to change that into a 4. So therefore, we managed to open this cache. And let's see what we find. Another potion. Goat Coast Swift Survivor Elixir. When an adventurer would discard a food, move it to their pack instead. Yeah, okay, that's not too bad. Is it great? I don't know. I mean, you know, I think I'm going to place this here for now because maybe I can use that right away. Let's see. Okay, that was that. Then I can move here as another action, and I'm again allowed to open this other cache here with a 1, a 1, and a 6. Okay, we got a 1. And what about these? This allows me... Oh, actually, there you go. I think we opened that thing already, if I'm not mistaken. Set a rolled dice note to the side of your choice, but still, this allows me to manipulate it by 1 space. So we can make this a 6. This was already a 1, and I choose to make this a 1. So we did it. Oh, Pale Frost Elk. Beautiful. When you would gain any amount of fatigue, you may instead place 1 hit point chip on this pet. Once there are 4 chips on this pet, discard it. Well, alright, I mean, this is also kind of nice. We got a lot of stuff here. I think I'm going to discard this and maybe keep this elk for now. And okay, then I got more movement. I got 2 more movement. 1, 2. This goes away, obviously. And now I end my movement basically here. Alright, so I think here's what I'm simply going to do. I want to try to kill the Dark Elf Bandit, so I'm going to use simply these 4 dice. And we'll see if this works out. Okay, let's see. It's not a sure thing because he's got that divert, which means we cannot take away his last one with this attack, but we'll see. Maybe there are still options. So the two-hand, it says deal 3 damage to your target, then gain 2 light fatigue or 1 over fatigue. Okay, I think that's what I want to do. And that gives me an over fatigue, which I can place in my active slot. And now with this, so I'm going to place these here. That would technically allow me to kill him. Gain 2 light fatigue or 1 over fatigue to immediately defeat an enemy. Yeah, I can... Interesting. I could also use this against this guy. Now let me check that. And then what about the balanced blade? Deal 2 damage to an adjacent enemy for each over fatigue in your active slots. Okay, yeah, so the stalwart of the mud crab says this unit cannot lose more than 1 hit point in a single turn. Okay, so I think we cannot kill the mud crab. I think that's a given. But I can defeat this unit here. Oh. Divert. This unit cannot use its last hit points. No. So also it seems I can't do it that way, but I can remove. But what means defeat? That's really weird. So does it mean I remove only 1? Gain 2 light fatigue or to immediately defeat an adjacent non-quest enemy. It doesn't really say that it loses hit points. It just says defeat it. So it's a little weird. I think it's okay to remove this guy. It feels like this is kind of the whole point. And yeah, and I get another over fatigue, which I can place here. And that's it. Okay. So that's then the end of the turn here. And oh, I can actually activate the Clan Fear here to attack the Breton Marauder. Oh, that's another 2 damage, so he loses 1. He's at 4. Doesn't really matter anymore. And now I ignore him. This guy here, he's gonna attack here, my illusion, with 2 dice. Okay, that worked out. So it's gone now. And the mud crab attacks the sorceress with a single die. Okay, that's a single hit. Nothing bad here. And then we have here the Breton Marauder. He attacks the Clan Fear with 2 dice. Okay, nothing. And that is the end of the dungeon. We've managed to kill all the quest units, and that was our goal. So we did it. It's the end of the dungeon and pretty much also the end of session 2. We just finished the end of battle now. Okay, so first of all, this gives me 3 experience points. So that brings me here to 34. And we have here 3. And over here we are at 4. That's good. And now entry E33. There we go, Agents of Chaos again. Ra's fur is still standing on end as you limp your way out of the doomcrack. You never expect a Daedric lord, Ras muses, or at least if you do, you know to stay away. He fixes you with an appraising gaze. That was more a trap than we realized, he says. Ras does not think the Daedra knew we were coming any more than we knew they were there. The soldiers are a clever bunch, but thanks to you, the eyes have managed to regain their foothold in High Rock. We will deal with them. In session 1, okay, that's not the case. In session 2, you and Ras continue to infiltrate more encampments of the soldiers of the Void. As legions fall by your hand, you find your mind snapping back to the doomcracks, crumbling walls, and vicious monsters. If you are sure that you and the Ice defeated its horrors, why does the place still haunt your nightmares? The soldiers of the Void would not abandon such a bastion so readily, but perhaps this is yet another trick luring you into a final trap. Proceed to the High Rock endgame quest for session 3. And I get the intercept intelligence keyword now. So let's see what that is now. The High Rock endgame. Okay, this is it. Endgame, Waking Nightmares. Now we have, I think, overall 3 days. And this is day 1. And during the endgame, we will have no more overland encounter phase. We just have our encounters, our standard encounters. So I think it's time to load this up. And then, I don't know, we're going to do, I can see maybe 2 more videos. Maybe we can do day 1 and 2 in one video. And yeah, that's pretty much it then. And then, of course, we have our final battle, day 3. So yeah, hope to see you in the next video. Bye.